Hello, welcome to Infosys technical session, morning session where we left off, we continue from there. So, what is why the throwable is superclass for all the exceptions? Okay. Now, we are discussing so far why the throwable is superclass for all the exceptions, because throwable class defines the most common methods which are required for every exception. Okay. I repeat, throwable class contains the most common methods which are necessary for all the exceptions and error classes. So throwable class is superclass for Java exception hierarchy. Whatever we are going to rewrite the common methods in the exceptions and errors classes, that is we have segregated it has been segregated and defined in throwable. For that reason, throwable is a superclass for all the exception and error classes. That is the answer for this question. Throwable is a superclass for all the exceptions, because the main common methods which are necessary for the exceptions and errors are defined in a throwable. For that reason, hence it is a superclass for all the exceptions and error classes. Next, another very important questions, that is whether the multiple inheritance is supported in Java or not. It's a very important question and very frequent asked question in inheritance concept. Multiple inheritance is supports. Okay, why it is not available, or how it is available, or how it is achieve the multiple inheritance in Java. Okay, multiple inheritance is available in C++, is available in C++, but it is not available in Java classes. It is not available in Java classes. Java does not support multiple inheritances. Java does not support for multiple inheritance in its classes. A Java class cannot extend more than one class at a time. A Java class cannot extend more than one class at a time. Okay. So, multiple inheritance is not supported in Java. Multiple inheritance is not supported in Java. Multiple inheritance means we know that how there is a superclass is there. Classes. So, it is error. But I have one doubt, that is, in Java every class is a superclass of every class. What is a superclass for every class? That is, object is a superclass of every class, right? I will write here. In Java, what is a superclass? Class for every class. Answer is, just now we discussed that, answer is, that is object. Object is a superclass for all the Java classes. All the Java classes. Okay, that is class, any, I am writing my own class here, that is parent. Means if you are writing here extends object or not, it is a superclass. Okay. Next, it is as good as writing, class parent extends object, right. So, we can write in two ways, okay. Whether if you are writing like this class parent, or you can write like this also, there is no difference, both are equal. I think this case you understood properly, there is no confusion here, there is no confusion here. So, here parent is a superclass subclass of the object, there is no confusion, already discussed here. Next, case 2, class son, I am writing another class, that is class son. So, class son is extends parent. Class son extends parent. Here son is a subclass of parent, but every class in Java, for every class is a subclass of object class, right. Okay. Object is a superclass for every class. So, but here son class also a subclass of object. So, subclass there are son is a subclass of object as well as a parent class. So, that we can say that it is a multiple inheritance, right. We can say that it is a multiple inheritance, but just now we gave one statement that multiple inheritance is not supported in Java. In interview we will get this type of question, then how do we give the answer for them? How do we give the answer for them? Java is supporting the multiple inheritance because every class is a superclass, object is a superclass for every class. Here son is a subclass of parent as well as object, right. Here only we need to understand one point. If I am not writing any, if parent is a only one class, directly it is a subclass of object, directly it is a subclass of object, but we are extending another class, that is parent class. Now, the son is not the direct subclass of object, direct subclass of object, okay. We need to give the clarity here. Here the son is not the direct subclass of object, okay. It follows the multi-level inheritance, it is not the multiple inheritance, okay. It looks like this, means but not class parent extends object, here class son extends parents, because if you are writing the extends parent, so here that is object is not the direct superclass to son class, it is multi-level inheritance, but not the multiple inheritance. You need to give the answer to the interviewer that it is a multi-level inheritance, but not the multiple inheritance. If there are more levels of there, then it is called multi-level inheritance. Multiple inheritance means one child class contain more than one parent class. So, more than one parent and more than one father, it is a error, it leads to error in Java, okay. So, here also son class contains only one parent, but not the multiple parents, okay, that we have to understand. But object is not directly superclass to the son class, it is indirect, it is a multi-level inheritance, not the multiple inheritance. Hope you understood this difference between the multi-level and multiple inheritance. So, here the same question, once again you can check here, in every class of Java is a subclass of object. So, we are aware, right, class C1 extends C2, okay. Here C1 is a subclass and C2 is a superclass. Here C1 is a subclass of C2 class, C2 is a superclass, and C1 is also a subclass of object. So, multiple inheritance is supporting, no, it is not multiple, it is a multi-level inheritance. If any class extends other class, then object is not extends directly. You need to understand. If any class extends other class, means any class extends other class means here. If any class means here some class extending other class, that is parent. So, object is not the direct superclass to son class. That is the meaning of this statements. If any class is not extends other class, then that class is the direct subclass of object class. Okay? If any class is not extends other class, then that class is the direct subclass of object class. Here you can see here, a parent is we are not extending other class. So, now the parent is the direct subclass of object. Okay? It is here. Now, you can see here, your parent we are not extending other class here. So, now we can say that parent is the direct subclass of object, means it is as good as writing like this. Class parent extends object. Class parent extends object. Right. Class C1 extends C2. Class C1 extends C2. Here object is not direct superclass, because we are already extending another class, other class. We are extending other class C2. So, C1 is not directly subclass to the object, it is directly subclass to the C2, and whereas C2 is the direct subclass to the object. Okay. Example 2. Example 2. Class C1, I am not extending any other class. I am not extending any other class. So, here object is a superclass directly. Here object is a superclass directly. So, whereas the example 1, here object is not a superclass to directly. Class C1 extends C2. Class C1 extends C2. Here object is not direct superclass. Here object is not direct superclass. Class C1. Class C1 I am not extending other classes. Now we can say that it is here object is a direct superclass. Here object is a direct superclass, it is nothing but at the time of compilation it looks like this. Class C1 extends object. Okay. So, now you are able to give the answer for why the multiple inheritance is not supported in Java. Okay. If the object is a superclass for every class, so multiple inheritance is supported, means we have to give the answer that it is not multiple, it is a multi-level inheritance. Okay. It follows a multi-level but not the multiple inheritance. In case any interviewer tell that says that object point of view, okay, object is a superclass for every class, though we are extending also other superclass is there, means we have to say that it is not the multiple inheritance, it is a multi-level inheritance. If our class does not extend any other class, then only our class is direct subclass of superclass object. Okay. Class C1 extends object. Class C1 extends object. Extends objects means here C1 is a direct superclass, direct subclass to object. Class C1 extends C2. Class C1 extends C2. Here object is not directly superclass, but indirectly it is a superclass. Yeah, we already written class C2 extends, class C2 extends object, okay, is as good as writing class C1 extends C2. Okay. If our class extends any other class, then our class is indirect subclass of object, means it is multi-level inheritance, but not multiple inheritance. That is the meaning of this one. Hope you copied and hope you understood. So, now we are doing the why it is not support multiple inheritance. Okay, we will see one example here. Here class C1 contains add, class C2 also contains add method, same methods, we are writing the same methods in superclass and subclass. If I call add method from the subclass, okay, which method is going to be executed in C3 class? Okay, there are two parents are there. Okay, here I am writing class C1, it's a parent class, public void add method, addition. Class C2, public void add, class C3. If I call this one extends, okay, we are using extends C1 C2. Okay. So, if I call this one add method, which add method is going to be called? Because all the methods are inherited to its subclass, right? Which add method is going to be called, executed? So, it is a lot of ambiguity. Ambiguity means confusion to the JVM. For that reason, it is avoided. It is does not support in Java classes. But it is available. I think you know that it is available in C++, and we can achieve by using the interfaces. This can be achieved. So, if I am C3 reference dot add, okay, say ambiguity problem we will get. This is one of the reasons which is a multiple inheritance is not supported in Java. So, but we can achieve by using the interfaces. By using the interfaces we can achieve. Okay. So, how do we achieve means? Ambiguity error. How do you achieve multiple inheritance in Java? How do you achieve multiple inheritance in Java? Answer should be by using interface we can achieve multiple inheritance. Example will write here, that is interface I1 next class C2 or we can write interface I2 class C2 or C3 implements. We have to use the implements keyword, implements I1 comma I2. So it is, but while we are implementing the interfaces, we must provide the implementation for the interface methods. Okay, that is we have to write the implementation here. Okay, at least empty methods also we have to write. While we are implementing the interfaces. Okay, interface means which contains only the abstract methods. Abstract methods means which doesn't contain any body. That body can be implemented in its implemented classes. So in implementation, by using the implements keyword, we can write number of interfaces. Okay, you can write by using the comma operator. It's no problem. So that we can achieve in multiple inheritance by using the interfaces, but not in classes. So it is 100% valid. Okay, if you are using the interfaces. So these are the now we have seen that is a relationship in interfaces. Now we will see another relationship that is has a relationship. Okay, that is has a relationship. What is a relationship and what is has a relationship? Now we are going to discuss now. So most common usage is has a relationship only, but not is a relationship. Most common relationship we use in our classes is that is has a relationship. For example, if I am using the one just I will write, for example, has a relationship. Has a relationship. I am writing one here, class employee. String name. Here this is a employee has a class string relation. Here employee has string class. This is nothing but a has a relationship. Here employee has a string. Here employee has a string, which doesn't meaning that it is a has a relationship. It is a has a relationship. So, look here int id in employee class have written one int id means employee id. Here employee has a id, is nothing but a employee class has a id member. Next, string name semicolon. Here employee class has a name member. Name member is nothing but a has a relationship. It is an example for the has a relationship. Here employee has a id relationship. Here employee has a name relationship. Okay. For that reason only I am saying that most common frequently we use the has a relationship than the is a relationship. Example you can see that to manufacture a car, I want to manufacture a car. Okay. What we need to we need to have several components, right? Means that is a wheel, we need to have the wheel and next seat covers, next engine. These are not manufactured in a single company. These are not manufactured in a single company. Tire may be MRF company, tire may be MRF company, that engine may be Fiat engine, mostly Fiat company starts their own engine, that is Fiat engine. Okay. If you take if you take the Maruti car organization, that Maruti won't manufacture the MRF tires. Okay. They won't manufacture the engines, they may not manufacture the engines, they may not manufacture the tires and tubes. They will be taken from the outside vendors, outside third party vendors. Third party vendors, they takes and integrates together to release a car object. Means the car has a relationship with the tire, next different components, different components to build a car. To build a car, they takes a different components. You can see here the diagrammatic representation. Car has a engine, car has a wheel, car has, this is a this arrow mark is a representation of the has a relationship, has a relationship. Okay. This car has a engine, this car has a wheel, this is a has a relationship example. They take wheels from other company like MRF company. Okay. Engine is from other company like Fiat company. Car company means here you take Maruti, only compose all the components together to form a single unit, single object to run the car. To run the car, they all composes, all the components composes to run the car. To run the car, they composes all the components together. They takes a wheel from the other company, they takes a engine from the other company, okay, they takes some other seat covers from other company, okay, different company, they will have the vendors, okay, all the components they composes, all the components they composes to run a, to build a car and to run a car. This type of relationship is nothing but a composition or aggregation. This type of relationship is nothing but a composition or aggregation. So, here we need for every car engine functionality is mandatory, right. For every car engine functionality is mandatory. Here engine means another object. So, create a class for engine, create a class for engine, create a class for engine. Now, I created one class for engine. Engine contains the engine functionality, engine functionality, what is the horsepower of that engine that contains that contains the engine class. So, wherever engine functionality is required, first we need to create the object for that engine class. First we need to create the object for that engine class and call that engine function method in that class. So, that means that wherever the engine functionality is required for us, just create a object for engine function, engine class. For example, if you take the Maruti organization, Maruti means car organization, they have different models are there, different models are there. If they want to, for every models, for every car they needs the engine class, engine functionality, for every class they needs the engine functionality. So, simply they create the object for the engine functionality, engine class, and call that method. So, engine functionality is available for all the cars. So, no need to write the engine functionality once again here, just simply we are calling. This is a has a relationship here. So, just look here, the class car, okay, I am creating the engine class object in a car class, engine en equal to new engine, en dot engine function means engine functionality is executed now, engine functionality is executed now. So, wherever it is required the engine functionality, first we need to create the object for the engine class, so that you can call the engine functionality with respect to engine class object reference, that method is called. So, now what is the relationship between the engine class and car class? Now we can identify the relationship. What is the relationship between the engine class and car class? That is has a relation. It is a has a relation. Here the car has a engine reference. Means engine relationship. Just look here, this is the class diagram representation. Here car has a engine, okay. In car we have the engine reference, so that this method is going to be executed in car class. I think you understood this class diagram. It is a diagrammatic representation by using the class diagram. Wherever engine functionality is required, create the engine class. First create the engine class object and then call the engine function. Wherever the engine functionality is required, create the engine class object. Create the engine class object and call that engine class functionality. This kind of relationship or has a relationship So, now we will write the definition of the has a relationship. Has a means an instance of one class. Has a means an instance of one class, okay. One class has a reference to an instance of another class, okay, or another class instance of same class. It is also known as composition or aggregation. There is no specific keyword to implement as a relationship. There is no specific keyword to implement as a relationship, but mostly we are depends upon the new keyword. Why there is no specific keyword means, if there is a static method we do not use a new keyword, simply we write its object is not required for that one. Object is not required for that one. So, most commonly we depend on the new keyword to implement the has a relationship. So, I repeat once again, has a means an instance of one class. Has a means an instance of one class has a reference to an instance of another class or another instance of same class. It is also known as composition or aggregation. There is no specific keyword to implement as a relationship, but mostly we are depends by using the new keyword we implement the has a relationship. Okay. Here also we implemented the as a relationship. For example, I am writing class car. Before that, class engine, engine functionality. So, here if I want to use this engine function, how do you write engine? En equal to new engine. So, you can call the engine functionality. So, this is a most commonly we use the new keyword. If new keyword we are not using means that is a static method. For the static methods, new keyword object is not required. Directly we can call that method by using its class name. So, has a means an instance of one class. Instance means object of one class. Has a reference to an instance of another class or another instance of same class. It is also known as composition or aggregation. There is no specific keyword to implement has a relationship, but mostly we are depend upon the new keyword. This kind of relationship is called composition or aggregation. Okay, it is also called as composition or aggregation. We are composing the car with several components, objects to run that car. Okay, it is known as the composition or aggregation. And second point number 2. Point number 2, there is no specific keyword to implement as a relationship. There is no specific keyword to implement as a relationship, but mostly we are dependent upon the new keyword. If it is a static method, then object is not required, means we do not use a new keyword, we do not use the new keyword. Next, point number 3, advantage of as a relationship. Advantage of as a relationship is code reusability. As a relationship has a code reusability advantage. That means write once, use number of times without rewriting that code. Without rewriting that code. Create engine functionality, you can call wherever engine functionality is required, means it is a reusability. It is a reusability, which is a reusability. Just see that engine en equal to new engine. Okay, en dot functionality. Okay, en dot functionality. So is we are reusing that function. We are reusing that function. So engine class object, car has a engine class reference here. Here car has a engine class engine class reference. Engine class reference, that is en is a engine class reference. Okay, en dot functionality. So what is the relationship between car and engine here? Here what is the relationship between the car and engine? That relationship is called has a relationship. That relationship is called has a relationship here. Another important question, that is what is the difference between the composition and aggregation? What is the difference between the composition and aggregation? Okay, now we are talking about the composition and aggregation here. Okay, sir, what is the difference between the composition and aggregation? First of all, first point is both are same, both have the has a relationship only. In composition it has a relationship, in aggregation which contains the has a relationship, but these are the similarities of the has a relationship, that is composition and aggregation. Okay, both contains, both means composition and aggregations has a relationship. Next we see the contrast. What is the contrast of the composition and aggregation? Okay, strong association between the objects and objects are called composition. Okay, strong association between the objects are called composition. Strong association between the objects are called composition. Next, weak association is called weak association between the objects are called aggregation. Weak association between the objects are called that is aggregation. Okay. Now we will see what is the strong association, what is weak association. I am an object of person class. I am an object of person class. I am an instance of person class. Okay. I have you think that I am a container class. I am a container class. Okay, but I have several components, that is heart, lung, kidneys, these are all are the contained object. Contained objects means several parts are there to run this object. Okay. These are the strong association between the heart and me. Strong. If there is this object is not exist, there is no point of heart and my lung and my kidneys. It's because it is a strong relationship. Because this is a strong association between my several parts. Okay. If the container means I am the container object, if the container object is not exist, there is no question at all contained object. Contained objects means here my lungs, my heart, kidneys, these are the contained objects. There is no question of this contained object, where is the lungs and where is the heart. Okay. There is a strong association. This is called composition. Composition. So, without existing the container object, there is no chance of existing the contained objects. There is no chance of existing the contained objects. Then container and contained objects are strongly associated. Container and contained objects are strongly associated. This strong association is called composition. This strong association is called composition. I think you understood these differences. If you take example, another example, if you take any, you can take any hospital. You can take any hospital. There are so many departments exist in that hospital. Okay, cardiology, general, dental, all are the departments we can. It is seen in the hospital object. Here, hospital is a container object. Departments, cardiology object, general ward object, dental object, okay, general medicine object, dental object, and cancer, pulmonology department, okay, oncology department. These are all are the contained objects. Contained objects. If there is no department, okay, if there is no container object, means there is no hospital, there is no question of departments. There is no question of departments. If hospital is removed, there is no question, there is no exist the departments. Means without existing the hospital, there is no chance of existing several departments. Hence, hospital and departments are strongly associated, and the strong association is called composition. The strong association is called composition. So, next question is, what is aggregation? Okay, what is aggregation? What is aggregation means it is a weak association. Weak association between the container object and contained object is called aggregation. Okay. For example, if you take the I am a container object, my hand is there, means it is a some my hair is there, its hair is one contained object here. If my hair is removed also, I will persist. Okay. If you take hospital object, if you take the hospital also, several departments are there, several departments exist, right. If you take one general department, okay, in general department there are so many doctors objects are there, okay. If the department is removed, from that hospital, but doctors will may exist because they will be shifted to some other department. Okay. This kind of relationship is called as aggregation. Okay, without existing the container object, if there is a chance of existing contained object, then container and contained objects are weakly associated, and this weak association is called aggregation. Example, department consists of several doctors. Example, department consists of several doctors. Without existing the department, there may be a chance of existing doctors objects. Hence, departments and doctor objects are weakly associated, and this weak association is called aggregation. Okay. In composition, objects are strongly associated, whereas in aggregation, objects are weakly associated. In composition container, objects holds directly contained objects. In aggregation container, object holds just references of contained objects. Okay. These are the inheritance concept now we discussed. Okay. In inheritance, what is the user relationship? Okay. We have seen, and what is the composition, and what is aggregation, and what is has a relationship we discussed so far. I hope you understood. This inheritance is the main pillar of the OOPS concepts. In next future sessions, we will see that polymorphism. So, thank you all. I wish you all the best. Thank you.